Hey everyone, welcome to Matter of Opinion. I'm Walls P. The Lakers just won the championship. Where do they go since AD's contract is up? Does LeBron surpass MJ now on who's the GOAT? Where does Miami go to help them get over the hump? Who do they try and recruit to the team? What happens with Dak Prescott now that he's out for the year? Who do we like for the MVP race? Russell Wilson, Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers? We discuss all of that now on Matter of Opinion. Hello everybody, welcome to Matter of Opinion. I'm Walls P.
I'm ready to dawn.
Now we're going to be speaking sports today. The Lakers winning the championship. Where does AD go from here? Since his contract is up. Should Dak Prescott have sat out instead of signing the franchise tag? Does LeBron surpass MJ? Let's get down to the debating. So first subject of debate. What was the difference in the Lakers versus the Heat series?
I gotta say it's Rondo, man. Because Rondo, he came in that last game and he did his thing, man. He dropped mad buckets. He made power play moves when they needed it. I gotta say, if Rondo didn't make a difference like he did that night, the Heat still be in the game.
See, I gotta go with AD. The reason why I gotta go with AD is because nobody on the Heat could match his size and his talent. Like, him alone with the rebounding, basically killed it. No second chance points for Miami. They got plenty of second chance points for the Lakers. So it's like they had literally no answer for AD. The size period, the front court. You got AD, you got McGee, you got Dwight Howard. Now we all know Dwight Howard, he crashes the boards. Yeah. And he protects the paint. So, yeah, I definitely got to give it to the size. On top of that, the Heat is not really a half-court team. So if they're not getting rebounds to do fast breaks, it put them in a bad spot. Because most of the time they score, it's pretty much off fast breaks, whatever. Half-court-wise, I believe the Lakers is a better team than the Heat.
I'd have to disagree with you on that because I think what it is though is the mindset that they came in with. I think they're
as far as who?
As far as the Heat,
okay.
They didn't come in with that winner's mindset like they did the other two games that they won. Because if you look at it, the other two games that they won, they were in the paint, they were getting the balls back from rebounds. They were hustling.
Okay.
It was, and that was the hustler's mentality that you have to have when you play basketball. And when you look at the last game that was played, they weren't doing that. They were missing shots. They weren't going in the paint. They weren't dominating as they should.
Okay, so do you think it was a question of the Lakers being overconfident and thinking we got this, which made the Heat capitalize, or it was just pure hustle? They out-hustled the Lakers.
They out-hustled the Lakers. Pure out-hustle. That's all it was. And I think, they lost the championship to the Lakers because they were out-hustled at the end of the day.
Now, I can say that Jimmy Butler was probably gassed, the last game that they played. But still, man, they still had no answer for LeBron James and KD. I mean, not KD, AD. Right? Because the size was the main... Because the games that they won, they was getting the boards. They was crashing the boards. The games they lost, the boards, they got destroyed on the boards.
But that's what I'm saying. If they had the hustler's mentality for those first two games that they won underneath their belt, they would have won game 3, and then it would have been an awesome game 4. But they didn't come in with that hustler's mentality. For example, Jimmy Butler. He's known as a guy that goes in there, you put him in the fourth quarter and he does his thing. You get what I'm saying? His pace was slowed down. We had all other players.
But check this out though. Do you realize that Jimmy Butler pretty much played the whole game the game before?
He played the whole game for the last two games that they won.
So you don't think it's a factor of him being gassed, being tired?
The last two games they won, he played all 4 quarters. And he did his thing in the fourth quarter.
Still. I think he played all but 40-something seconds.
Right.
Or something like that.
Yeah, 40-something seconds where they took that break. for I think it was like a foul shot or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know, man. That last game, they all looked dead, like gas, no energy.
They had no hustle mentality. That's what it was. Because I promise you, if Jimmy Butler, Hero, and the rest of them came in, hands down, with that mentality that they came in on that second game they won, they would have got it. I promise you, the Lakers would have had no answer. They would have got it. It might have not have been a huge marginal win, probably like 2 or 3 points, but they would have got it. I promise you that. Because if you look at the score for the championship game that the Lakers won, the score is pretty right there with each other. You get what I'm saying? It's only a difference of a couple points. Now you gotta imagine if you count all the shots that the Heat players missed, all the boards that they missed. You get what I'm saying? You know, all of those things, if they had did it right, all of those would have been points. And then if you look at it from that perspective, the Heat would have definitely been ahead by the end of the fourth quarter.
All right. But if you're telling me that their hustling was off, their rebounding was off, their shots was off, that contributes to them being fatigued and worn out.
I mean, but they have a whole day to rest. You feel me? And they go through the same amount as the Lakers do. So it don't. To me, it don't make a difference once you have a few days to rest.
It does if you have more bodies to put out there to maintain and hold the lead.
I can see where you come from that, but that's like saying for the first time, you know, when the Lakers played them for the first time, they were playing, they were hustling, they were out here, making their shots, doing bodies and everything. Rested for a day, came back and played their heart out too. So, you know what you're saying, your point, I get where you're coming from, but that's the rules of the game of the NBA. You have to have a hustler's mentality every time you step on that court.
All right, so by your logic, what you're saying is that if next week after both teams was rested and they do another 7-game series, you're saying the Heat got a chance of winning?
The Heat got a chance of winning, I promise you.
I have to disagree on that.
I promise you. I promise you.
I'll have to disagree.
Prime example. Toronto versus Golden State for the previous championship. Everybody was like, Toronto don't have a chance. They don't got nobody to guard this person, nobody to be on this person. Yeah, what happened? Toronto pulled an upset, right?
Well, I wouldn't say they said Toronto stood no chance because Toronto was balling like crazy last year, and with every championship, you need luck to win. Just about every championship.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And now, once KD went down, because even the games when KD was playing, the game was, it was still kind of a close game or whatever. But once KD went down, then it was pretty much a wrap. Well, I can't even say that. Once KD and Klay Thompson. Yeah, once they both went down, that's what made it a wrap. The team was basically, destroyed at that point, where you're missing 2 key guys who are all-stars.
But you have to give it to the Raptors though, because they won one of the games with KD and Klay, both playing healthy. Before he got the injury in the next game.
Yeah.
So you have to give it to them. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's all a hustler's mentality. It's not really about, you got to come in with the mindset to the drive to want to win. And the Heat didn't have that night.
Yeah, but the Heat's roster is nothing compared to how the Raptors roster was last year.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. The roster is definitely a different.
You had two rookies in the backcourt who basically showed that they're rookies by the time the series was over. What's his name? Bam. He got hurt, so he wasn't the same. Moving on to the next question: does this make LeBron pass Michael Jordan as the GOAT, in your opinion?
Nah.
And why do you say that?
And I'll say this because there's only one Michael Jordan.
Okay.
And just like there's only one LeBron James, one Kobe, and all of that, you can't compare the two because it's a different time period. The time period Michael Jordan played, the game was rougher. Look, if you look at all the games, they was more physical than anything else. Now, if you look at the games here, they barely could touch each other, foul. Michael Jordan's time, physical contact. It was times where Michael Jordan get triple teamed, and he'll get hit and just have to take it like a man, not get a foul or nothing. So you can't really compare the two because they lived through two different time periods of the league.
For me, I'm gonna have to say no, because of the simple fact that Jordan won championships on a team that he's the only player that commanded a double team. I get it, Pippen was a great player, more so on the defensive side than anything, and a great passer, but Pippen did not command the double team. That's number one. The only other team that, well, I would give it to the Raptors, but, of last year, but injuries, made that happen with the Golden State Warriors. The only other team that won a championship where nobody commanded a double team was the 2004 Pistons.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
Other than that, every other team had two people that needed to be double teamed in order to win a championship. Number two, Jordan, number one, he went undefeated in all the finals. And the third thing is he never let a series in the finals go to a game 7.
That is a fact.
Never let a series go to game 7. He always closed it out in 6 or whatever the case may be.
That is a fact.
And to me, Jordan had that killer instinct mentality where in his mind, like, he's taking you out.
He had that mentality, give me the ball and watch me go to work.
Yeah.
So, and I give it to LeBron. LeBron has his his ways and how to go in and paint and stuff. But if you put the two, Jordan in his prime and LeBron in his prime, you will see that Jordan is a more physical player. He's more of a take charge more than LeBron. Because if you look at LeBron now, right? Yeah, he's leading the team and he's making play calls and stuff, but he's more laid back. He's not the same LeBron as as before in terms of like his explosive energy and stuff. This
is one thing I'll give to LeBron. LeBron, if you're gonna start a team with average players, LeBron will take those average players and make them better.
That is true. I'll give that.
And another thing is, LeBron never played for a Hall of Fame coach, like a Hall of Fame coach. Every coach that he played for was not Hall of Fame status. Now, Eric Spoelstra, he worked himself up to being an excellent coach. But other than Eric Spoelstra, what other coach has LeBron had that you like, wow, that's an NBA legend right there? Well, that coach right there is an NBA legend. He's going down in the Hall of Fame.
Can't name it. Can't. Sorry.
So, I gotta give LeBron his credit, but as far as being the GOAT, I can't give it to him. But he's definitely on. He's on
the GOAT list.
Yeah,
he's on the GOAT list, but he ain't at the top of the mountain.
I can't give him number 1.
Yeah. Now, if he do something amazing now, like prime example, if he breaks an all-time NBA record, say for example, with Chamberlain's record, 100 points in a game, now we can talk.
I still can't give it to him.
I'm sorry.
I still can't.
I'm sorry. 100 points in a game by yourself.
LeBron's not gonna score 100 points though, because he's not a scorer. Like he looks more to facilitate.
Exactly.
But if he did do it, that'll be an incredible feat. That'll be an incredible feat. But
then I would be like, all right, he probably would give LeBron, Michael Jordan a run for his money. You get what I'm saying? Because 100 points by yourself is not an easy thing to accomplish.
That's true.
It's not.
I could give you that. All right. So with free agency looming, does AD stay with the Lakers or go somewhere else?
Oh, he's gonna stay. He's gonna stay. It's basically him and LeBron are team captains, co-team captains. So why would I give up my position of power? And then plus I just won a championship with this team. I already know this team's flow. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lead the team.
But my thing is, how many effective years does LeBron actually have left in him?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I say at most he's got 3 or 4. 3 or 4 years. Because the way he plays now, it's not the same LeBron. Every year he gets older, he's playing more conservative. He's not plowing through defenders like he was in the past. If you look at his old clips, his old videos, he used to plow through 3 or 4 guys and get to this basket. Now he'll stop if it's 3 or 4 guys in that paint. He'll stop, pass it to a teammate. He's making smart decision plays where his body doesn't get injured. It's not the same LeBron.
All right. So with that being said, you have Golden State who's gonna rebound back, get their guys back. Plus they got a top 3 draft pick or something like that. They're in the lottery.
Yeah, they're in the lottery.
You got the Clippers who they're not going nowhere.
Right.
They can improve.
Milwaukee might be out because maybe Giannis might take that deal with Toronto and sign with us. I'm just saying.
You got the Nets who are coming once KD gets healthy.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem because the Nets is actually good. If they get KD and they
with Kyrie and everything,
and they build their teamwork up, they'll be a problem.
You can't count out the Nuggets still. Even though they lost, the Nuggets, they're still improving.
And you can't sleep on the Suns.
Yeah.
Most people be sleeping on the Suns. Y'all don't sleep on them because they were voted out. They never lost. They were voted out of the NBA Finals.
See, me personally, what I was thinking is, if I was AD, I would either go to the Suns, the Grizzlies, or the Heat.
Nah, I was.
The reason, because look at it. If he goes to the Heat with Jimmy Butler, right, that's going to push them over the edge. Who would be able to stop them on the East? Granted, I understand KD is coming back and everything like that, but with the roster that the Heat have right now,
KD coming back is
AD.
KD coming back is going to be a problem, but it's not going to be a problem because his leg is not going to be what it used to be. We don't know. We really don't know. Trust me, it's been seen. Past NBA players who've they've pulled their Achilles heel and all of that. They come back, they're not the same players. They're not jumping high. They're not doing all that extra stuff.
But KD wasn't a person that relied on athleticism.
He relies on athleticism because if you ever look at when he shoots the ball, he jumps when he shoots the ball. His leg, his ball shooting strength comes from his legs. He's not stationary.
No, I get that, but
that's gonna be off. He'll have to get used to doing it with his foot's condition how it is.
See, I think it would affect a dunker more than a jump shooter.
Nah.
You don't think so?
I think it would affect them equally. Because regardless if you're shooting or you're dunking, you still need to rely on your leg strength to propel you.
Good point.
Regardless.
But yeah, I still say if he went to the Heat, that would make the Heat a problem. And if he went to the Suns.
Oh, if he decided to go to the Suns would be a problem. Yeah. The Suns would definitely be a problem.
And me personally, like I say the Grizzlies because Ja Morant, that kid can ball.
He can ball.
So if you pair him up with Ja Morant, I also think that would,
but I don't think it'd be enough to get to the top spot in the playoffs or even make it to the finals with just Ja Morant and the rest of the Grizzly team. If he went there, I don't think the Grizzlies would be a fair choice.
Good point.
Because even if they made it into the playoffs, you got the Raptors. They have a deep squad.
Nah, Raptors wouldn't see the Grizzlies. That's the Western Conference.
No, Raptors is in the East.
Yeah, but Grizzlies is in the West.
Grizzlies is in the West. Yeah. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. No. You would have
Clippers.
The Clippers.
Lakers would take a huge step back if AD left.
Yeah, but they'd probably
I think they'll still be in the playoffs.
They'll still be in the playoffs. But then you'd have Golden State to contend with. Because they getting some new fresh squads.
You still got Portland.
Yeah, the Trailblazers are crazy.
Like we said, you still got the Nuggets. You still got the Rockets. So yeah.
Yeah, if he went to the Grizzlies, I don't know. It'd be a fight for him. It'd be a fight. I'm not gonna hold you. It'd be a fight.
I can agree with that. But yeah, his best bet would be to stay with the Lakers, though.
Yeah, Stay with the team that you already know the most, and regardless of not, you could probably get a second ring.
I don't think they're gonna get a second ring, to be honest, but
not if Giannis come to Toronto. That's gonna be over with. The whole dreams are gonna die right there and then. Just die.
Now, before we go to the next question, I had somebody, drop a comment saying to talk about the Knicks and the Giants. Look, the Knicks and the Giants are terrible. Unless Dolan sells the Knicks or something, the Knicks is gonna forever be on the bottom of the barrel. And as far as the Giants, we just lost Saquon Barkley, and they're in a rebuilding mode. So, in my opinion, they're done. They enough said.
Honestly, they both suck. I'm sorry.
Hey. I agree.
I can't.
I agree.
I mean, I understand having the underdog's back and stuff, but sometimes you gotta walk away from a situation where you know you can't win, and those are two teams that'll put you in situations you know you can't win.
Look, at least my Giants won 2 Super Bowls. Recently.
When they had a squad, now it's.
But Knicks, I wasn't even born last time they won.
You know what? They need like Mike. They need like Mike. That's what it is. They need like Mike. They need these magic shoes. Get a kid doing the impossible. I promise you, they would win.
It's all good. All right. So the next one is, what is the future of the Heat after this finals run? Do you think they should recruit to push them over the hump, or just stay intact? Like, what do you think?
I think the Heat definitely needs more weapons. If they plan to make another championship run, they need more weapons, and they need to train Hero how to shoot, catch and release.
Okay.
Catch and release in corners. If Hero can shoot, catch and release in corners on the 3-point line, it'd be amazing. If that's all he needs to train in. Like not even dribbling, defensive skills, just catch and release, shooting under pressure.
So as far as what talent do you think would help get them over the hump?
That's kind of hard to say, but I say they definitely need a better rebounder.
See, for me, I say they have the possibility of keeping everything intact. But the 3 players in free agency that I think that they should target is Andre Drummond, Dwight Howard, and Montrezl Harrell. Yeah, Montrezl Harrell from the Clippers. Those are the 3. Why? Because those are people that's going to give them rebounding. Montrezl Harrell, I honestly think, because he's going to give you rebounding energy. And he's young. Dwight Howard is good on... Dwight Howard and Andre Drummond are both good defensively and good rebounding. But I really don't know who I'd pick over Drummond and Dwight Howard, because they're limited offensively. They still, would go through alley-oops and stuff like that. But I think at this stage of the game, Drummond would be a better bet since he's younger.
Yeah.
Because he'll still give you the defensive presence and the rebounding. So, yeah, if they could get, Drummond and Harrell or something like that, I think that would help them a lot and push them over the edge, because they need size.
They do need size. They need size.
That's definitely something they would need.
But I don't think they would be able to afford him, because I think their cap limit is almost there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they would be.
Well, Dwight. They could
probably afford Dwight, but I don't think they can afford Andre. Honestly, I think.
Well, let's see what the market is asking for, because he did get buried this year. You didn't hear a lot about Drummond. He did get buried this year.
They let that boy sit on the bench.
Yeah, so
I think that's kind of hurtful.
Yeah, you never know.
So he might be a little bit loaded, when he gets put on the market. Dang, we sound like some slaves. Some slave holders. Like, put that boy in the market. I feel bad talking like this.
Hey, but that's what they get paid to do. Like, I mean, that's the career they chose, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you think the Lakers would have advanced if they would have met the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals?
No.
And why is that?
And I'm going to give you my specific reason why. Because at the time when they were playing, they were still not coordinated as a team, and I think if they ran into the Clippers, it would have been a problem. It might have. I shouldn't really say they wouldn't have had a chance. They might have had a 50-50. It'd have been 50-50. But I promise you, the Clippers would have won at least two to three games before the Lakers came back.
See, I believe the Lakers would have still won. Because, again, I don't really see anybody that would have had an answer for AD. And this playoff Pete or playoff Paul George, whatever, I didn't see it. Like, he played terrible. He played terrible during this playoffs that just passed. Now, a lot of the Clippers wasn't focused because a lot of them wasn't happy to be in the bubble anyway.
That's true.
So,
because they didn't, they have families and stuff.
And the Lakers was focused. That's why they pretty much lost to the Nuggets. Now, playing the Nuggets and playing the Lakers, they would have had a different mentality, and I believe they probably would have got up, to play the Lakers because, look, that they share the same stadium, whatever, same city, so that would have got them amped up to show we're the better team. So that I'll say. But I don't know. I honestly think the Lakers would have won because of the chemistry. Like, something about the Clippers' chemistry just wasn't. Other than Kawhi, not too many other players were really doing too well.
Well, that's simply because they were in a bubble and they were being, they were being forced to play and stuff. And that's, it comes with the territory of being an NBA player. You sign a contract with a franchise, and that franchise has the right to make you play. I mean, the only time that you won't be able to play is if it involves the Civil Rights Act. And it's only so much things you can do with that. So, having no choice but to play, and not you don't really want to be there, you're not gonna really play. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
that's like me giving you a gun. You don't want to go to war, but I'm like, go ahead, shoot that person. Like, go ahead. I'm cheering you on. Shoot that person. Like, no, it's not gonna work out.
Still, man. Like, I don't know. Like, nobody. Like, even Sweet Lou, terrible playoff series. I don't know if they should have offered your man some wings or.
I'm gonna say this. Whatever, but I'm gonna say this to keep it 100. If they weren't being forced and it was, they were willing to be there, their mindset would have been different. They would have beat the Nuggets, and then they would have seen the Lakers, and they probably would have gave the Lakers a run for their money. And they might have won. They might have won. Who knows? There's always this new NBA season coming.
That's true.
We'll find out.
All right. So, going to the East. Do you think the Celtics would have been a better matchup against the Lakers than the Heat?
Size-wise, yes. I think Tatum and the rest of his crew would have definitely been able to match them size-wise, paint for paint, rebounding, blocking. Yeah, because they're I give it to the Celtics. They're a younger crew with fresh heads and stuff, but they play like a unified team. You get what I'm saying?
And they're deeper.
And they're deeper, and almost everybody on that squad can shoot a three. Almost everybody.
Look, I definitely know the Celtics would have gave the Lakers a better run for their money. Tatum averaged 34 points and shot 55%, while AD, he averaged 20 points in the two meetings that he played against them. So, I don't know. Tatum seemed to do a good job against AD. The size, they're about the same height. Tatum is just as athletic, Defensively, he's pretty good. He also can rebound. So a lot of things that AD can do, Tatum also can do, which gives AD, it gives them some problems or whatever.
I think if the Celtics did go to the finals, they would have given the Lakers a good run for their money. But at the end, I think LeBron would have went beast LeBron, and he would have found a way. He would have found a way.
See, they have more bodies they could throw at him.
That's true. That's true.
Brown and Gordon Hayward.
But I think he wouldn't have. I think LeBron wouldn't have played defensively like how he was playing. Like not really defensively, but with precaution. Because if the Celtics had made it, you would have seen the old LeBron come out, the one that likes to drive past 3-4 people and get that bucket. Because he wouldn't have let that game, he wouldn't have let a championship slip out of his hands.
He wouldn't have, but Celtics is a better half-court team than Miami.
That is
so.
That
even
is
if
true.
you're not running and gunning, and you in the half-court, Celtics would have fared better. And on top of that, with the rebounding, it wouldn't have been they wouldn't have been outmatched on the rebound the way Miami was, because Miami don't have the size. Celtics definitely have the size to compete against the Lakers' size. So that's where I see it would have been a closer matchup. Now, ultimately, I still think Lakers would have won it, but I think it would have went to Game 7, hands down. So moving to the NFL, looking at the teams that are on kind of a hot streak, we got to look at the Las Vegas Raiders. Do we think they're a real deal now that they had recently beat the Chiefs, and they also had beat the Saints earlier in the year also? And the Saints are picks. People pick the Saints to go to the Super Bowl.
I gotta give it to the Raiders. They're tearing that butt up. But they're a threat. They're a threat. I can't demolish the Raiders. They're a threat.
Every team they played, like the games they lost, it was relatively close. Because even the Bills had a bad game yesterday against the Titans. But when they did play the Bills, while the Bills were undefeated, they lost to them by 7 points. I believe it was 30 to 23 or something like that. It was a close game. And Gruden, I must say, he really got them guys playing. Because when he took over and the trades and stuff that he was making with the team, I, for one, was questioning what is he doing. But it seems like
he got a plan.
Yeah,
he got a plan.
It seems like he had a plan. But Las Vegas, they're definitely, I didn't think they was going to be as good as they are, but they're definitely holding their own. To beat the Chiefs alone, do you know how hard, Pat Mahomes, man, to beat the Chiefs, that is not an easy feat. That's not an easy feat by no means necessary.
It's been done.
It has been, but
it's been done. So we can't forget that.
Look, man, the Chiefs is a hard team.
The Chiefs is a hard team. Though. I gotta give them that.
So for them to beat them, that can't go unnoticed. It can't go unnoticed. I mean, you have Derek Carr. He's completing over 50% of his passes. He has 9 touchdowns to 1 interception. That's a Pro Bowl type season starting off. So
we'll see. We'll see. They might run into the Steelers. Might run into the Cardinals pretty soon. I think they got them on. Not sure what day, but I think they play the Steelers someday.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
That's gonna be a good. We're gonna see if the Steelers defense can hold them. We're gonna see.
So now we move on to the Cowboys, America's team.
It's not my team. Okay. First of all, they're Cowgirls. All you Cowboy fans out there, I want you to know they're the Cowgirls. Okay, the Cowgirls.
So we know Dak is out for the season.
See, Cowgirl, he out for the season.
Should he have held out to wait to get his big contract, or did he do right by signing the franchise tag?
That is a good question. You basically asking me if he was greedy or he was humble.
See, it's easy in hindsight to say he should have sat out, but
I think he should have been humbled, and he did the right thing by signing the franchise tag. I think he was humble.
Me, to be honest with you, I think he was better off sitting out and putting the pressure on Jerry Jones. Because number one, he wouldn't be suffering. He wouldn't be going through what he's going through now. Because let's be real. With him suffering this injury, Now come next year, they're going to either try and shortchange him again or franchise tag him, which I highly doubt they're going to franchise tag him, but it's going to bring his market levels, like his contract negotiation, down, because teams are going to throw that in his face where they don't know if he's 100% again. So that just like, he lost a lot of money with the injury.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unless the Cowboys is going to be, 100% committed to, stick with him.
Let me correct your statement. He lost a lot of money for the future.
Yeah.
He still got paid when he got paid.
Yeah, he's still getting paid, but going into the future, it kind of hurt his value. I believe, like, when it comes to contract negotiation, that's going to be a major sticking point of how he bounced back from his injury.
He'll probably get traded to a different team, I promise you.
But, yeah, it's like I said, it's easy to say in hindsight, because the guy never missed a game, like, the whole 4 years that he's been playing. So it's easy to bet on yourself. Like, remember when Darrelle Revis was doing that? He was betting on himself year after year, signing signing franchise tags, getting top dollars, and no injury or nothing like that. So yeah, Darrelle Revis took the gamble, and it worked for him. So granted, in football, you never know what can happen Sunday to Sunday, but
that's why in any sport you guys play, have insurance and Affleck helps.
That's why even Le'Veon Bell, when he was on the Steelers and he sat out waiting, to get a contract, can't be mad at him, because what if he would have got injured?
That's true.
Then it would have hurt his value. Next question: Titans and Patriots both had to reschedule games and shut down their facility due to COVID. Do you think the NFL should cancel the season in case more outbreaks continue to spread?
Yeah, because nobody wants to hear their favorite NFL player coughed and choked and died in the hospital. Come on, that's a terrible way to start your morning days and stuff like that. But yeah, they should, because COVID is real, man. It's real, and it kills. And
now let me ask you this: do you think they should just cancel it, or should they just do some type of NFL bubble like the NBA did? Because out of all the other leagues, the NBA was the one that was most protected as far as like people not catching COVID, this, that, and the third. Since they basically said we're gonna make this bubble, lockdown, and that's what it is.
But then with the bubble, you have to pick an arena, a standard arena to play all the games. That arena would have to lose the team signature sign that's always on the well, you could do that too.
See, because you could just pick a site where they got a college, like two different college teams, also the professional team. Like with nowadays, they can make it work.
They can make it work, but then you'd have to retest everyone, every single player, every single coach, every single staff assistant.
Hey.
That's a lot of retesting.
Hey.
That is a lot.
They did it in the NBA.
Right, and they did it. What was like? It took them 4 months, 4 or 5 months to get all of that done.
Mm-hmm.
I think they would have to cancel the season to get that done, or postpone the season, because then they would have to get the location, sign a contract for whoever owns that location to use it.
Okay.
Pay them. Then they'd have to pay facilities to do the testing.
All right. So that's pretty much what the NBA did. They stopped mid-season.
Right.
When COVID broke out.
Right.
Then they started, putting everything in motion. So if they stopped it right now, right, NFL season right now, and they started putting everything in motion right now, the fans would, I think the fans would understand.
The fans would understand. But the politicians in their pockets would not. See, this is, let's just use a remote as an example, right? Say I own the company that make these remotes, right? COVID happens, a few of my employees get sick. Now I have to shut down and test everybody simply to make sure everything is safe. Then I have to find a location, that they could be in the work to make these remotes that, just in case COVID has been on any of the materials and stuff and things like that. Now I have to do all of this and shut down my business at the same time temporarily, so I can relocate all that stuff. I'm losing money every single day that my remotes aren't made.
But see, I don't think that's necessarily true, because I think with the TV contracts, they're still making money.
No. I think they still lose money if they cancel a game. They still lose money unless they reschedule it. I think that's the only difference.
Yeah, which pretty much it would be. It would be rescheduled to a later date.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, but at the same time, if you're looking at it from a perspective, football is usually in between after the NBA does its thing. Mm-hmm. So then nobody has a problem with watching the NFL and having to choose between, the NBA and stuff. But if they push it back, now you're going to run into the NBA's time.
In my opinion, NFL trumps every sport. And the reason why NFL trumps every sport is because of the simple fact that, granted, now they do Thursday night, Monday night, and, Sunday. But still, Sunday is like the golden day for football where everybody watch. And since it's a sport that's not played every day, once it's on, people are going to tune in. Like, it's going to be flooded.
So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
So Sunday you have a football game between your favorite team and, let's say, the Giants, right? And then that same day you got a game at the same exact time. You got a game between your favorite team and another good team that you want to see them play against, right?
I'm watching football.
You're watching football over the NBA.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's his personal choice.
Even with the finals, watching if it was on a night during the football game, unless the football game wasn't interesting or it was like a blowout or something like that, then I was more prone to watch the football game than the finals. I would tune in the last quarter or flip back and forth, but I wouldn't just completely write off watching the football game.
Oh, okay. So yeah. I'm different. Like if it's a really good NBA game, sorry football, I gotta leave you.
Yeah.
I'll catch the previews and the recaps on the ESPN app, but sorry football.
Nah, I don't like. Yeah, lately I've been more into the football as opposed to basketball. I guess another thing too is because I'm more so in more football pools and stuff like that, so it may keep me active watching more of the games or whatever, yada yada. Plus, my team on basketball is terrible, the Knicks or whatever, so it kind of,
I'm mad you said the Knicks. Yeah. You gotta leave the room.
What?
I'm mad you said your team was the Knicks.
It is. My team's the Knicks now.
Man.
I also like the Rockets or whatever, but still,
listen, the Knicks, they need Mike.
But lately, like I said, I've been more into football than basketball. I still love both sports, but if I had to choose, I would watch football over basketball.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Oh my God.
Bless you. All right. So, as far as the football season, who do you think is leading the MVP race out of Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, and Patrick Mahomes?
I gotta give it to Russell. Sorry, I gotta give it to Russell. I like the other two, but I gotta give it to you, Russell. You my boy. Yeah. Doing your thing.
And I remember when they was talking about him possibly coming to the Giants a couple of years ago. That would have been awesome if that happened. That would have been awesome. But yeah, that game on Monday, I gotta admit, that put Russell Wilson ahead.
Oh yeah.
Of everybody.
Oh yeah.
Now prior to that, I would have had to give it to Aaron Rodgers because the Packers is playing the Packers is a damn good football team. They're doing Aaron Rodgers got that team really, really going.
I wonder what their workout regimen is like. Do they go to the meat packing facility and it's like, yo, 500-pound Kyle, let's lift this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's ridiculous. They're really a good team.
Yeah.
And their defensive line can hold.
Yeah.
Their line can hold.
But yeah, Russell Wilson though, man, he's the engine of that team. Without him, that team would be terrible. And you can never count them out with Russell Wilson. This guy's phenomenal. I got to give it to him. This guy is a damn good quarterback. And yeah, I'd have to put him ahead of everybody else for the MVP voting. Like I said, that Monday night game, that was a statement. That was a huge statement. So I can't argue with that.
By the way, people don't sleep on the Patriots. The Patriots are still a good team.
Yeah.
It's still a good team.
It's just right now Cam Newton's down, so
it's a little sad, but you know.
Now I know this is gonna segue into the next question, but I would really love to see a Patriots versus Buccaneers Super Bowl.
Oh man, I think the Bucs would win that. The Buccaneers would win that.
I would personally want the Patriots to win.
I think the Buccaneers would win that, my man. I'm sorry. I don't know. That'd be.
You give Bill Belichick 2 weeks to prepare? I don't know. And the fact that he knows Brady's tendencies and stuff, I know it would be a good Super Bowl. The story behind it and everything would like make the ratings shoot off through the roof. But we segue into the next question. Who do you think is coming out of the NFC and the AFC? What two teams? For me personally, I believe it's out of the Seahawks and the Packers in the NFC. And as far as the AFC, I believe it's the Titans or the Chiefs, a repeat of last year. Because the Titans right now, man, with Tannehill and Henry, Henry is a big boy.
He's living up.
Did you see what he did to I forgot the cornerback's name, but he like manhandled him.
No.
Josh, I can't remember his name.
The proper term is babysit. He babysitted him. And
Josh Norman. He just
he told him, sit down, boy. Sit down.
Henry is a big boy, man. And their defense is not like yesterday's game was the battle of the undefeated between the Bills and the Titans, and they made the Bills look. And the Bills going into this game was like everybody was picking them like, they might be the king of the crop as far as going into the playoffs. They made them look like a high school team, like seriously. Yeah. So Titans
gonna be a problem.
Yeah, watch out for them.
But you can't count out the Bills, man. I think the Bills might make it. The Bills might make it.
So who do you have on the AFC?
I have to say the Packers for sure. I'm a little off.
That's NFC.
That's NFC. The AFC, I'd have to say definitely the Chiefs. Because they're definitely the Chiefs are monsters, man.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are scary. I don't know what voodoo they practice it at home, but the nature herbs is whatever they be sucking, bro.
That's Patrick Mahomes, man.
I'm telling you.
That's Pat Mahomes.
And I think definitely the Titans too, though, as well. I would agree with your opinion for the Titans, because the Titans are monsters, man. That like what they showed me in the last game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And like I said, for the NFC, like I gotta pick the Seahawks and the Packers.
The Packers, I agree with. The Seahawks, not so much. I think personally, I think the Seahawks are gonna lose a couple games. They're a good team, but I think they're gonna run into trouble later down in the season.
So who would you think would be on the NFC? Like what? Cardinals? Cardinals is a good team.
Cardinals is a good team, but we're not making it this year. I can tell y'all right now. I'm a Cardinals fan. We're not making it this year.
Giants?
No, hell no.
My sneeze came on at the right moment.
Look, I had to try and put it out there. I had to try and see if I could sneak them in there. No,
they need Dwayne the Rock Johnson. They need the Rock. If the Giants want to win, they need the Rock. It's too early to say for me for that second seat for the NFC, but it definitely I can't go with the Seahawks. I'm not a Seahawks fan. I don't really like them as a team. And I don't know.
I like their coach, man. He's energetic, man.
I get that to you. His coach is energetic.
I like their coach, man. But yeah, with Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, like I can never count out Russell Wilson, man. Like you just could never count this guy out.
I don't know. That's a tough one there, man. But definitely, the Packers will definitely make it though. The Packers will definitely make it.
I do want Aaron Rodgers to get a second championship or second Super Bowl championship, and I wouldn't mind if the Patriots actually met the Buccaneers and won. The reason why is because I'm tired of hearing Skip Bayless put Tom Brady on a shrine, and I'm also tired of him not giving Bill Belichick credit for the Patriots winning. So if they can go head to head and the Patriots win, all the credit is going strictly to the coach, Belichick. If Aaron Rodgers win, then he can't say nothing as far as saying, oh, Brady is head over heels better than Aaron Rodgers, which to me, that's a lie. Brady has more accomplishments, but as far as the better passer, no doubt about it, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah.
The passes that Aaron Rodgers can make, Brady cannot make. So
I get that to you.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, who's gonna go into the Super Bowl. But I definitely think it's gonna be between the Chiefs and Titans and the Seahawks.
Oh,
and the Packers.
We shall see. We shall see. Hopefully, if they don't shut it down to, you know, COVID testing and stuff.
Yeah, and too bad for the 49ers because they look like they was gonna have a promising season, but injuries just like destroyed them.
Oh, yeah.
Injuries just destroyed the 49ers, so that hurt them a lot.
The 49ers, oh man, I feel y'all hurt. I'm praying for y'all. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. Y'all need like Mike. Like Mike and The Rock.
Pretty much. But
if you can afford him, pay the big show.
yeah. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this show. We'll catch you guys on the next one. You know, drop it in the comment and see if you want to hear us do sports weekly or something like that. Let us know what you guys want, because like I said, man, we listen to you guys and we try and, you know, produce the content that you guys want to see and everything like that. So
sure do.
Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and
share
it, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Time for me to hold it down. Time for me to break it down. Y'all cats don't wanna see me. Y'all better mind your